2 years on Stick to the Plan. I've just seen it come up on a memory.
Wrong show.
You do that too well.
I just did it the other day.
Welcome to the show, John Wilson in the studio, talking all things Jackson, bringing you the news that you need to know. The Heads on Jackson podcast, and we're coming at you live in your city, Jackson. This is your time. Get your news from your neighbor, the people who care. Unbiased and uncensored with pride, broadcasting to you live on the air. Trusted source to tell you what's happening from the city to the county line. All the news that matters. Make your own opinion about the news that affects your life. Jackson podcast, and we're coming at you live in your city, Jackson. This is your time. Get your news from your neighbor, the people who care, unbiased and uncensored with pride. Coming at you broadcasting live on the air.
10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome to episode 10 of Hits Home Jackson. I'm your host, John Wilson, and we have our co-host, Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, how's it going today?
And our very special guest today, Russ Jennings.
Hi, John. I'm over here in the co-pilot seat today.
Yes.
I'm usually over there with Stick to the Plan podcast. We put the guest over here, but today I'm a guest on your show.
And I'm sure you're going to be in full control.
I hope maybe you guys just ship a little bit. I'm tired.
He's never really in full
We'll
control.
just lean on Kevin.
Sure. Oh, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin always rolls, and I usually just roll with Kevin.
Kevin, we only had 40 minutes with our guest on Stick to the Plan last week.
We did pretty well.
But Kevin stayed quiet.
Yeah, well, I didn't know much about the position, and I
It was very un-Kevin-like. You know how he chimes in.
Oh, and I'm so thankful he does.
I usually am too. I kept sitting there interviewing Amanda Love, thinking, oh, "Help me out here, son."
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't know anything. All I knew is that the Secretary of State helps me get my driver's license.
Yeah, I know.
I do my tags.
Well, today we're fortunate to have as our guest for Hits Home Jackson, Russ Jennings. Russ, number one, is a trustee for Leone Township
Yes, I am.
government. And
I am the youngest board member on Leone. No, the newest serving board member on Leone Township trustee.
But not
last December. I think I might be the youngest of the bunch of us.
Oh, wow.
It's a bunch of old timers.
I
I don't know the age of a couple of them, but we're all around the same age.
Yeah. So Russ is a township trustee for Leone Township. And Russ also serves as the chairman of the Jackson County Republican Party.
Yes, I have.
Don't forget
Third year
about
of
co-host of the Stick to the Plan podcast.
And co-host of
Yep.
Stick to the Home
Which
podcast.
we're on our 2-year
Coming on 2 years.
anniversary with Stick to the Plan podcast.
Couple weeks, yeah.
So it's a real honor to have Russ on as our guest. And Russ had me on his show one time. And
That's kind of when you
Totally
thought
enjoyed
you'd
it.
get this going.
sure.
Right after that.
Yeah, we've had you on a couple times, but just recently
Mhm.
we've
Yeah.
had you in studio here. Yeah.
Because shortly after whatever when that was, and then you knew Kevin had a podcast.
I had just opened the studio.
And you jumped on doing this show, which I love this show, John.
Oh, thanks.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yep. Today, again, it's an honor to have Russ as a guest. Number one, of course, is public. He serves the general public over there in Leone Township. And you're on your first term there, Russ?
First term. Yep, I sworn in year ago in November. So.
Okay. And also, Russ serves again as chairman of the Jackson County Republican Party.
The Republican Party born right here in
The city of Jackson.
Yeah, the birthplace of the Republican Party.
Birthplace of the Republican Party.
I am the first chairman for Jackson County Republican Party that has made it through a full term, a full 2-year term, 10 years. They've all bailed prior to their terms expiring. Ever since Kathleen Torres, she did a couple terms, but 10 years went by. They'd all bail. I made it through a term. I don't know how, because chairing a county party is not for the faint of heart.
No.
And
especially the Republican Party in Jackson County, city of Jackson County being the birthplace of the Republican Party.
So you think that we have Republican standards that need to be upheld and held, and because of that, but it's just as important in every county. I will say most county parties have the same struggles that we do here, successes and struggles. Mm-hmm. But we do carry that banner, birthplace of the Republican Party. So sure. we're proud to have that. So
that little town over in Wisconsin, they try, but
Ripon, Wisconsin. I met their chairman before.
Okay,
I was in Vegas for a thing the Turning Point Action sent me to.
Oh, neat.
They made sure him and I sat together.
Sure.
He was a young fella. He was okay. But so I'm on my second term as chair, a year into that, which has been a long time, and then you're into it as being a Leone trustee. And John, you'll feel the pain. I ran for county commission several years ago in an open primary and was beat by Corey Kennedy. And Corey's probably my favorite county commissioner, so the pain's not that bad. And then
he is your county commissioner.
He is my county commissioner. Yes. And then I ran a few years later for township trustee or treasurer and lost. And that loss hurt. You know, some of them hurt. That one hurt. I thought maybe I had her.
Oh, you lose enough? Believe me, it doesn't hurt.
Really? It's just go home, go to bed, wake up in the morning, check the results, huh?
John knows.
Well, let me see. Between city and county,
I
don't know. I think 14 times. But I win primaries. I just
you're a primary king.
Don't win the big dance.
Yeah. No. But I won as a trustee, and I serve on the board. We get along well. I consider us all friends to certain degrees, but we don't always agree. I am a bit of their outsider, but I don't pick super big fights with them like others had. But I vote opposite of them on issues quite often. You know what though, John? I've learned that takes courage.
Oh, sure.
Because you always want to be liked by your peers, and they are your peers, your friends, and human nature makes you want to say, well, it's going to approve anyway, so I'll vote yes, just to get along with everybody. I'm that guy. I'll say, no. But they don't take, people just need to, in politics, not take it personal. Move on to the next thing. You know?
That's right.
That's what I've learned in the last year serving on Leone Township.
And don't forget Russ, who my older brother is. My oldest brother, Greg, served on the Jackson County Board of Commission, and he was a lone wolf quite a few times. And
rough, woof.
Yes, and boy, that was an interesting time.
Yeah. But since you're here and we're talking about the township, and the main reason you invited me on the show, although I keep up on the county going on, the city, and so we'll talk about. I can talk about that with you, but I have some huge concerns with the recent budget.
State
budget, and I think the townships got screwed on it. I really do. One, the amount of money, and I forget that goes to local roads, was a lot less than what they wanted. There is extra money coming for local roads from the state through gas tax and other things, which maybe you break that down a little bit more for us, but. The cities, townships, and counties receive that money. The townships depend on the counties. And I'm normally not dissatisfied, like some, with the work that the county commission does. But I feel, and I've been corrupted by my township board. I didn't feel like this before I got elected. The county's screwing the townships. on local roads. I really do feel it now. I see it. That funding's going to go through the county and trickle down to the townships. I don't think we'll see any. They're going to spend so much time working on the so-called county roads that you're still not going to be able to drive out of your driveway on your neighborhood roads.
Is this still an effect of Public Act 51 for the most part, or
So the additional funding, from what I understand, is not funneled through Act 51, if that's a good way to put that. But if you look at the municipalities that received this extra road funding, it's the Act 51 municipalities, because we know cities get Act 51 money, counties get Act 51 money, and it looks like to me more than likely the villages do, which makes sense. So we've always been dependent on the county. So the county in Jackson offers a 70-30 split on local roads. Now, when I say local roads, it's pretty much your neighborhood subdivision roads. There's a couple
and right now we're just talking townships due to the fact that the city of Jackson isn't included with that.
Right, because they get their own Act 51 money,
Yes.
and they get a cut of this extra road funding. I don't know how it's not through Act 51. It's a separate funding mechanism. That's why, from what I understand, why the city doesn't get the 70-30 split that's offered from the county, like the townships do, because the city receives that Act 51 money and they're responsible for their own, from what I understand. But then the county comes to the township and says, hey, if you want local streets done, we'll do them for you for a 70-30 split. The township pays the 70, the county pays the 30.
And these are the millages that have passed, such as
Whether you
Summit
pass
Township,
Summit, Blackman, Spring
Blackman.
Arbor,
Mhm.
Napoleon just passed one.
Okay.
Whether you passed a millage, or say Leone Township hasn't passed a millage for local street funding, we can say, hey, county, we want these 3 roads done anytime. They'll put them on the schedule for that 70-30 split. But same thing with Summit Township, for example, with the millage, all those streets that they've had done in Summit Township, the county provided that work with that 70-30 split also.
Right.
But the townships paid for it out of the millage, where the townships who haven't asked for villages for it, or Leone, which did a few years ago and we turned it down.
Yes.
And ever since that's turned down, the township has no appetite to even fix any local roads. But the 70-30 split, our township officials are always like, we're getting screwed by the county on that. Well, I got looking. Most counties offer that 70-30 split. It's not exclusive to Jackson County. I did see where there's a couple of counties do a 50-50.
You mean regardless if the township were to pass a millage?
So that millage, the county offers to do the work. The only thing the millage did was provide a funding source to help pay for that 70-30 split.
Right.
Like I was trying to say, so Leone, who doesn't have a millage for local street, if we wanted out of our general fund, say, hey, the county, we want to fix these roads, we would get that same opportunity on the 70-30 split.
Yeah, and these would not be county roads. These would be Leone Township roads into the neighborhoods and so
And that
forth.
gets very confusing.
Yeah.
It really does. The county does have a GIS map on that. And the best way to describe it, in my opinion, is your subdivision neighborhood roads, or the roads going around the lakes. And I say that because Leone has a lot of lakes. But the subdivisions, your little street that you use to get to the county road or state road. It's still confusing to me, but that's the best way that I put it in my mind. Because I was like this with Leone. Supposedly should have extra money. We bring in close to $800,000 a year in marijuana excise tax, but that's pre-spent, John. Township parks, things like that.
Okay.
I was always like, well, let's focus on the cut-through roads like 9th Street or Broad Street. Those are roads that people drive, or Thrush or Donnelly.
See, in the city, that would be considered a major street.
Like Elm Street, or that's probably a
Right.
county road.
Morrell Street.
No, Elm Street's city.
Well, Elm in the city.
I guess, yeah.
North Elm.
I guess it would be.
Sure.
So that construction that was done
North
on
and
North
South
Elm, though, was that just a city project, or is that maybe considered a state?
That would be both city
Oh.
and state.
Yeah.
And no local funding on that because
Okay.
it's a major.
There
major
you
street,
go.
And therefore it qualifies
So
for both.
in normal people's mind, we're like, that's gravy.
Mhm.
But we're still all paying. I don't care.
Yeah,
if
I
it
mean,
comes
yeah,
out
yeah.
of the city pot or the state pot or wherever.
Those residents on North Elm Street were assessed
Oh, so there's still
thousands
an
of
assessment.
dollars.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Hmm.
That's it with the city.
Where
yeah.
does like emergency routes, like to the hospital and stuff, fall in?
So Michigan Ave is a state
trunk line?
trunk line.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
Like Page Avenue wouldn't be, or would?
Page Ave also. That's,
Okay.
That's
I'm just
that's
curious.
a major street. Michigan Ave.
now
is a
they don't care what the ambulances have to drive on, whether it's shit roads or not. They really don't. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I asked our director of public safety. I said, "What kind of wear and tear do we put on our fleet of cop cars with these crap roads?"
Yeah.
It's just the cost of
Well,
doing business.
That, and I think the emergency routes are more also for, as anyone that needs to go to the hospital. If you got to hurry to the hospital, they,
Yeah.
Well, let's give a breakdown of we're
Yeah,
talking
let's
road
do it.
funding right now.
Yeah.
With the new state budget, the counties throughout 83 counties of of Michigan
Yeah.
received $457 million.
All right.
Now Jackson County, out of that $457 million, received $7.8 million, and that's a 30% increase annually that the Jackson County Department of Transportation will distribute.
Okay.
The city, and this is with the new budget, the
Okay.
new state budget, the city is going to receive $1.7 million annually.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure, when it says annually, I'm not sure if it's going to be increasing through the years or possibly decreasing.
and this is just for the roads.
City
City
streets.
streets,
City streets.
major streets,
Yeah.
major streets. And I would almost have to believe that's going to be formulated into local streets too,
I know.
as well as it should be.
Well, if that money's running straight to the city, those will be focused on specifically so-called city streets.
Mhm.
Now it's up to them to decide which ones they're going to put them on.
Right. Right.
And hell, I don't know. They could also, when they hit your street, ask for an assessment.
It sounds
On
like they
top
have.
of that, I still. But
Mhm.
what else you got there, John?
Well,
You're giving
I-
me information. I
Well,
like.
for fiscal year 2026, revenues will be just over $1 billion going forward. Revenues will increase to $2 billion over the next 4 years. Now, where are my notes? I have that. We're gonna find that.
Okay.
So, anyways, with the local streets, and I'm just gonna specifically focus on the city of Jackson right now.
Okay.
With this new state road funding plan, $1.7 million will go from
Extra.
Lansing to the city of Jackson.
Okay.
Then the city of Jackson then decides,
Mhm.
the city council, at the advice of the city
Manager.
will
Staff.
Yep, and staff. Jackson Jackson Department of Streets,
Right.
their Department of Transportation. But anyways, it will be up to them on how to distribute that money locally.
Mhm.
After this next election in 2026, I expect, well, they've already discussed it and they've already pretty much without a vote, all know that they're going to vote to place on the city of Jackson a millage
Right. I agree.
for local streets.
Yep.
For local
We
streets.
see it coming.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep. I'll go right out on a limb right now and say I'll vote no on it.
I would if I lived in the city.
Oh, well, sure. Anyways,
Ah.
I'm not sure with this 1.7 million, how much of an
So that would
increase
be a
that's gonna
harder. That would be a harder sale to sell a millage if the residents of the city of Jackson know that the state just plopped another $1.7 million in their lap.
Mhm. Right.
That's a harder one to sell on them.
And that,
Before that $1.7 million, I think they thought they had that in the bag. That'll change the game if people don't realize though that they're going to get 1.7 million more dollars.
Sure. Yep.
Um,
And that $1.7 million, all of it should go towards our local neighborhood streets. All of it.
It won't.
I
No faith. No faith.
hate to say, but I agree with you, Kevin.
I had a
It
county
won't.
commissioner tell me, and the city will face this, the county will face this. You hear it all the time. It's a great excuse, but it is an excuse. The cost. And now that the contractors know that municipalities will see an increase in funding, they're going to charge a premium. Two reasons why: one, they're greedy, and two, there is a workforce problem. So, take the city for example, $1.7 million. We're not going to get as the biggest bang for the buck with contractors. Maybe the city can do their own. The county's supposed to, but they sub that out now too. They don't have enough workers.
Right.
We're just not going to get the bang for the buck. $1.7 million sounds like a lot.
Sounds like a lot, but it isn't.
It isn't.
With however many miles of local streets there are in the city of Jackson. I should probably have that in my notes, but I do not. And I don't want to throw out a number.
You'd be surprised it's higher than what people would think.
Yeah. Now, how is this road funding being funded?
Well, a lot of it's got to do with the new gas tax scheme.
It is exactly a scheme.
A scheme.
And it's regressive. I mean, the lower amount of,
John,
you call it?
You
Progressive
broke
or
it down on
regressive?
Facebook quite a lot. And I mean, by the way, I am not make sense of numbers, guys. It takes me a minute to calculate it in. But I did see a breakdown that I'd like to read here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how the new gas tax scheme works. If for $3.50 per gallon, let's say we're at $3.50 per gallon.
By the way, 156 miles of city streets
Seems like it's higher
within
than
the
that.
city limits.
Okay. Those are all city streets, major and local.
Yeah,
Yes.
55 miles are considered major high traffic,
Mm-hmm.
while the remaining 101 are considered
Local streets.
local.
Those are your neighborhood streets. Thanks,
Yep,
Kevin.
that's from MLive.
So it says here the old plan, the state motor fuel tax, 26.3 cents per gallon. The federal fuel tax, this is the old plan, 18.4 cents per gallon. That'll stay the same.
What are we looking at per gallon here then?
If we were at $3.50, how it
$3.50?
works for $3.50 per gallon.
Yep. I've got it
All
right
right.
here.
2.3 per gallon. All right, federal 18.4 cents per gallon. 6% sales tax is calculated on top of the wholesale fuel price plus those per gallon taxes. Total taxes per gallon currently 65.7 cents. New plan. The state motor fuel tax charges 51 cents per gallon for gas. The federal fuel tax stays the same at 18.4 cents per gallon. The 6% sales tax goes away. The total taxes paid are about 69.4 cents a gallon. Okay, compared to the other one, 65.7 cents a gallon. So let's look at this again in case you missed it. If gas was at $3.50 a gallon, the old plan you would have paid 65.7 cents a gallon in total tax. The new plan with the math is 69.4, so we're 4% increase in gas sales tax. There was no break; it went up. Now, something this doesn't say, that is if gas stays under $3.79 a gallon, will always be under this scenario.
Yes.
If it exceeds $3.79, the motor fuel tax goes away. Some of these taxes will still exist.
Okay. It's a progressive tax.
Progressive.
It's a progressive tax. Okay. Now you just mentioned the at 280. What was it? You just no 350.
379 I
Yep.
thought was the number.
See, I'm looking at the base central price. Okay. I'm going to start out here.
You've been doing some homework over there, John.
Yeah, I filled up. Well, I didn't fill up, but I put $20 worth of gas in my 1998 Ford Ranger the other day.
He barely got out of the parking lot.
So anyways, it was at when I put that in at $2.83 per gallon. Okay. Now we're going to go back. The base central price, and this is at when it comes up to $2.83 a gallon.
Which is there now.
The base central price is $2.19. Then you have a federal tax of 18 cents. Then you have a state environmental tax of just 1 cent. Then you have a Michigan sales tax at 14 cents and a state motor fuel tax at 31 cents, which comes out to a total price of $2.83 a gallon. That was prior to this new change. The base central price at $2.19 today. You still have a federal tax of 18 cents, a state environmental tax of 1 cent. You do not have a Michigan sales tax, but the state motor fuel tax went from 31 cents to 51 cents, a 20-cent increase, which brings the total price per gallon to $2.89, which is a 6-cent increase. That's 6 cents of new taxes that goes to the state.
So this, what I read here, is close to that figure, because when I look at 65.7, now we're at 69.4. That puts us at according to this, which who knows where this came from, is about a 5-cent increase. You're saying we're at a 6 or 7?
6 cents. And now this is at the base central price of $2.19, but when we go to the pump, it costs $2.89.
Somebody asked if that is adjusted to the rate of inflation too. I don't know how that'll work.
I've actually got something on that, and I hate to interrupt, but I was just Googling it, checking things to make sure. But it says as of October 17th, 2025, so that's today, the state motor fuel tax rate in Michigan is 31 cents per gallon for gasoline, diesel fuel, and alternative fuels. The rate is set to increase significantly to 51 cents beginning January 1, 26, as approved by House Bill 4183. Future adjustments are tied to inflation. Current tax is 26.3 cents per gallon in 2021 and 31 cents per gallon today. In addition to the excise tax, a 6% sales tax is applied to gasoline purchases, resulting in approximately 48 cents of tax per gallon. The Michigan Department of Treasury announced a prepaid sales tax of 16.5 cents per gallon for gasoline starting in October of 25.
So
that's why it's confusing.
We
didn't
under
get a deal.
this new state budget that was passed, we got an increase in
sales
that's what it looks like.
in sales
Or gas tax.
and gas tax.
That's what should.
This isn't federal. This is state.
And John, am I right here? Any money generated through gas tax is funneled through Act 51. Is this, since I'm hearing that the new so-called road funding is paid for in part by the new gas scheme, but yet it's not funneled through Act 51, I'm not certain. To me, everything at the pump is Act 51. So I guess I don't know that part.
Well, it is at $3.70 going lower down to today. We're paying about $2.89 per gallon. Okay.
What was gas on the way in today?
I didn't look.
Last I looked, it was 274.
274.
But that was yesterday, I think.
What would we be paying today without the new gas scheme?
I paid $2.89 per gallon over at Buddy's on the west side of the city.
Yeah.
And again, that was $2.89. So that
they're counting
is
on
a 6 cent increase in gas taxes that I paid. Now,
so you're not seeing it because drill baby drill with Trump. We just increased barrel production through Saudi Arabia. The barrel gas is down. So that's what the state's counting on, that Trump will provide plenty of oil. And end of the day, we won't notice that we're paying 6 cents more.
Exactly. It's a regressive tax.
Right.
It's a regressive new tax that the state legislature
And the bottom
governor
line, John, I
just
don't think we're
approved.
going to see significant roads getting fixed. I don't think we're not going to notice the pace. You know, Whitmer got some sort of loan several years ago. Our interstates are perfect. They're
Yeah, they're
beautiful.
looking really
I
nice.
haven't been on a crappy interstate, even in Metro Detroit, in a long, long time, or even in Detroit. But however she funded that, it's not good. We're going to pay on it by the time we even come close to paying it off, we're going to need to repair them again.
Yep.
So she never did focus on local roads, whether it's county, city, or townships. This was supposed to alleviate that. I don't think we're going to see it, John.
Well,
I think we're just going to pay and still complain about our crappy roads in Michigan.
yeah. Well, how much, of a breakdown again, the county is receiving a 30% increase, up to $7.8 million for this fiscal year.
That's more than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do something I forgot to say when I was complaining about how the townships probably won't see any relief out of this. The county will focus on these so-called county roads. And so we might see an increase of roads, main roads, county roads getting work done, although they've been we're seeing a lot of it lately anyways.
Yeah.
But your neighborhood roads aren't going to get touched. But I want to add something.
But like you
that
mentioned,
in this budget, they decreased the township's revenue sharing by 8%.
Well, just a state breakdown here.
Yeah.
We're looking at this, and the counties. This is statewide, and it has the counties, cities, villages,
Yep.
state trunk line, and then you have the Infrastructure Protection Authority, local bus operations, rail grade separation fund, airport improvement fund, and the Detroit airport.
I seen one of the commissioners all excited about,
but it doesn't have
airport.
like you said, townships.
No. So we're always at county. We have to depend on the county. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've been significant enough at helping the townships out, the county helping the townships out. They're always depending on pass a millage. We'll come out there and do it for the 70-30 split, or just cough up some money and we'll do a couple roads for you. And, I was in the beginning, $7.8 million of the county. Okay. Maybe I'm crazy, John, but I'm going to start working on the commissioners, and they're going to, I know it's not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to try. This 70-30 split that they offer to the townships to fix local township roads with this $7.8 million, I think it should be better. But can we get a 60-40 split? Can you sweeten the deal with this extra $7.8 million? Am I out of line to even ask that? Well, they're going to tell me I am.
Yeah, and it would depend on the Jackson County Board of Commission to vote on us. This isn't set by the state. That's 70-30 split.
They can do what they want with that $7.8 million.
They could do
as long as it's road related.
Right.
It makes me wonder if the the commissioners actually realize. I mean, I'm sure they realize it, but or at least they know it. But they take into consideration that the townships don't get this.
So every one of those commissioners live in the townships.
Right.
Commissioner Kennedy, lives in Leone Township, and I've been on his little neighborhood street. It's terrible. It's real bad.
How did he get the funding to do the? Wasn't he in charge of the funding when Flansburgh and
marijuana?
All right, was it marijuana?
All right, this could take a second, but I'll try to wrap it up. Those were county roads.
Okay.
And what he did
these are major roads.
These are county roads. Flansburgh, Hoyer, one page is Flansburgh, Hoyer, Detman, Fallahy, Sutton. But those are county roads. They're not major, but they're county roads.
Okay.
Leone coughed up some marijuana money to move them up in the schedule. To get them fixed faster. And the county kicked in some of their marijuana money to do that. So all that did was move some primary roads in Leone Township that were scheduled, but later moved them up in the schedule.
Got it.
And Kevin, you were aware of, we drove them all. Those roads really needed fixed.
Yeah, Flansburgh was real bad.
Commissioner Kennedy was pivotal at doing that. But there has been no discussion of doing that any further. Part of that's the township thinks he got screwed on that deal. I don't know. I wasn't there at the time. But it was thankful that got done. With excise tax, the county receives excise tax for marijuana. and then each township that's in the marijuana business receives.
Well, and
excise
at that time, Leone Township was pretty much the only township involved with the marijuana.
You know, we are significantly,
right.
we contribute significantly the most, but by large margins, to the marijuana excise tax that the county receives.
Right. Well, it's only
Because
Leone
we are the biggest.
and the city.
Plasky's got a couple.
Plasky does?
You know,
Okay.
I think Parma's got some grows.
Right.
Now, grows don't get excise tax. That's just
retail?
dispensaries.
Okay.
But that's how those got fixed. And that, but I am gonna. We'll move on because I know you're running out of time. I think I am going to approach a couple of the commissioners. Hey, let's consider this, the 70-30 split, and changing that with that $7.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
But what about these townships that have passed millages to get theirs done, and now there's an extra $7.8 million? You probably should have voted no on those millages.
Sure.
Did I say that out loud?
Well, and Summit Township will have another vote soon
For maintenance.
for
They
maintenance.
forgot about maintenance when they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you know, the county.
There's $7.8 million. Well, you got to ask the voters.
Right.
Get a
right.
slice of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way the formula works right now, and it of course, it advantages those townships that approve millages.
It does. And you've been critical of road funding for many, many years, John. I've actually learned a lot about, not always agree, but I've also learned a lot of concerns outside of the township or whatever. You've been critical of, and it should be critical. I sometimes wonder if the breakdown didn't occur in Jackson County when we eliminated the Jackson County Road Commission.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of old timers will tell you
Things
were a lot better then. They were a shady bunch.
Yeah.
But the roads got
The roads didn't.
My
suck as
oldest
bad.
brother Greg was on the Jackson County
Yeah.
Commission during the when we had a road commission.
Yeah.
And but now, of course, now it's the Jackson County Board of Commission that decides the funding conduit.
And you know, I've noticed with boards, the Jackson County Commission, the City Council, or Leone Township, we have an administrator. Too many board members depend on the information that the administrator feeds to the board members. And you almost have to count on them. But boy, you should question them because their way of thinking is different. They always want more on their plate. They want to grow more responsibility.
The Jackson County, the administration, Jackson County administration, and our board chairman, Shotwell, and there may be a couple other commissioners on that board who feel the same, but they would like each township and even the city to pass a road millage. Yep. It takes it out of their hands for the most part, and then of course
it's
you
paid for.
Well, it also comes out. It takes it out of their budget.
But the city, of course, wouldn't be involved with that at all because the city has its own.
The county's just straight up says we're going to plow and patch your neighborhood roads in the townships, but we will not be ever resurfacing them ever under the current situation unless you pay that 70-30 split, and they don't care if it comes through a millage or if you just find the money in the back. However you find it, they want you to pay, and townships fall into that. We're tired of our crap. What happens in the townships is your little neighborhood roads gets done after that millage is passed, and you still wonder why that road's still crap. Well, that's a county road. It wasn't included in the millage.
Right.
I mentioned that before. It's like everybody's pointing fingers. It's your it's their problem. It's their problem. It's their problem.
But then the county will prioritize that county road
because you've spent money.
Yes.
Contact your local commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and like you said, out there in Leone, you do not have a millage.
Nope, we turned it down.
Good. And if it comes up again, turn it down again.
I don't think the Leone Township Board has any appetite at all to try to put that back on the ballot. And if so, they're going to try to sneak it in on a May ballot, but Russ will be a no vote to that.
One of
if
39.
If it came on a presidential election in November, I might vote, let's put it in front of the voters again. But I won't.
Not during an off election. Sure.
We've been talking about the county a lot here, John, and I'm in. It's like I'm guiding the show here, John. But
you've been doing this longer than I have, Russ.
The county spending $300,000 or $400,000 to fund administrative from the administrator's office and others because they were short-staffed. A year after Commissioner Kennedy went through that budget and took $100,000 here, $50,000 here, $30,000 here from the court building to the drain commissioner a year ago.
And this was as a result of
the jail millage
failing.
Yeah. And so 1 year later, all of a sudden they got to spare $300,000 or $400,000 to accommodate staffing in pretty much administrative offices, the administrator's office and whatever, some near that, I guess. Yeah. I was there. I watched it happen. If I was a commissioner, I'd have been a no vote. It went. Right. So would it go 4-7?
No, 6-3. No,
right, we got 9. It went 4-5. 5-4.
Yeah.
5-4.
Yeah, the 5. I don't like saying to the right of Shotwell.
It does. It's weird. Why is that, John? I don't get it.
But it was Shotwell, of course. And,
yeah.
And the 2 Democrats that represent the city.
And I'll go there. I expected a yes out of the Democrats in Shotwell and Pulaski, but Snell's usually a wild card on that. Lately, he hasn't been a wild card. He's usually riding with him.
He's been captured.
But I deal with Commissioner Snell most often out of all those commissioners because he's active with the Jackson GOP. And I'll tell him, it's like myself or any politician, they usually have a pretty good reasoning when you're face to face with them. And I'm like, I'll tell him, I was like, Ray, I wish you hadn't, I wish none of them had. It just sends a bad message. And then they eliminated a part-time job in the administrator's office and then brought it back as a full-time. I don't know the work they do in the administrator's office. I'm not up there.
They beefed up the bureaucracy. And again, it was a 5-4 vote. Yeah. And the 4 fiscal, who I consider are the fiscal conservatives of the Jackson County Board of Commission, that being Tony.
Yeah.
And
Margie Walls.
Margie.
Kennedy.
Corey.
And Duckham.
And Phil Duckham.
It tends to go that way.
But they are the minority.
They are.
And it's unfortunate because you have the progressives on the other side. And including.
It is a weird scenario how if you're sitting out in the audience, it's right of the administrator.
Yeah.
Always votes one way and left of the administrator votes another way. It's just by chance, but you're like, what the heck is going on? Because they got them counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Right.
That's how they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And for the most part, county government, in my opinion, runs more efficiently than city government. It doesn't seem like
city government's a mess, though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the shell game moving money around happens as often.
I just saw an article just scrolling through M Live. Jackson approves $697,000 for renovation phase of the Boo Center. Unanimously.
I watched it happen. But a lot of work's gone into that park and the Boo Center.
That's what they said. In the last 5 years, it already went through substantial upgrades.
So, Kevin, it's a tough one to be in. You take Leone Township and the purchase of the 50-acre lakeside park on Round Lake. It's beautiful, Buffalo Falcons Grove. And if I was on the board at the time, I would have voted no on that purchase.
Yep.
But now that we do have this park, I tend to, I think every time I've approved improvements to that park. A pavilion, this or that. I do take the mindset.
This is a township park.
A township park.
Yes.
I take. And so I'm certain the city council might look at this way. The county's parks are paid for through a millage. Another day, another story. But as a board member, I'm like, well, I'm going to invest in that park. I would have voted no.
Well, and you use that park regularly.
I do, but I used it before the township owned it.
Yeah.
And I would have been fine if they sold it to a developer and some beautiful condos went there. It's called growth. I mean, I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
I just think we could have spent money on other things.
Like roads.
Right. What do you always say? Hard-working, retired.
The hard-working, yes. The responsible, hard-working, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens.
That's right.
Of all of Jackson County.
And essential services.
Speaking of minorities.
I like parks.
Hit all of those.
Kevin, I know you're getting old, but when you and your brothers were young, we used to visit the parks. I don't mind parks.
I just went to
but
the parks with
is it
the nephew
essential?
and the niece.
Is it essential? Are we addressing our essential needs? And it doesn't seem like Leone, especially the city and the county, always have their what they think is essential is different than.
Well, we have a parks millage, of course,
for the county,
and all parks expenditures come out of the parks millage.
That's helpful.
And well, it is, but that they're taking more and more out now for expanded services and employment.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And it was specifically, when it was placed on the ballot, when it was passed, it was for the parks. The 16 parks that we had in Jackson County.
Right.
Including, of course, the biggie being Jackson County. Or
Sparks.
Yeah. Ellis Sharp is city.
Cascade. Okay, I always get those two mixed up.
Cascades is the county. So
and now, since we've had that, since that millage has passed, and that's going to probably be coming up for a renewal.
Keeley Park at the time.
No, it did not, but it does now.
Oh,
yeah. And not only Keeley Park, but the services of Keeley Park are even expanding now into the Armory.
Yeah.
We're going to have the
farmers market
there. Now they'll say, no, there's not going to be any money diverted from the millage itself, but yes, there will.
Well, where else is it going to come from?
Right. And it's not going to come from any profits from this nonprofit who's going to be running the farmers market, because boy, they've got grandiose ideas of a stage and entertainment,
John,
a store.
I've heard amphitheater 1,000 times, and every time they
city
they have it broke down in phases.
Every city loves an amphitheater.
You know what's crazy is I was just at the Cascades with my niece and nephew, and just on the playground by the ice cream shop, and that park looks like crap.
Oh, really? I haven't been over
I
there
always
then.
remember when I was young, there was always
you get over to Cascades often, though, don't you?
I don't go. Yeah, I do, but I don't go in that area.
Oh.
Yeah, there's always like new equipment. It seems like, but it
right.
it's been old. I mean, it's been there a while, and I mean, it was safe. It wasn't like it was.
It's over by the ice cream shop, and now
that's where the people are a lot.
The pickleball courts.
Oh yeah, the pickleball court.
They're gotta have pickleball courts. They took out my tennis courts and put in pickleball.
Back to the farmers market at the Armory. No one else is. I've said it 2-3 times. No one. It's probably somewhat insignificant. It's going to happen anyways. But I always think, what about Keys Produce? How do you think they feel?
That's right.
I think that business was created in the 60s.
Which will only be a half
They've
mile.
invested into the city. They used to have that old building, and it's been 20, 25 years. They built a new facility. I know the family, the Keys family. They just retail, wholesale produce.
Yes.
Wonderful business. Yeah, we're not even gonna worry about maybe cutting into.
You can purchase whatever fresh produce you want, right from
It's
Keys.
technically a farmer's market.
Yeah, that's what they are.
You get better produce there than you do at the grocery store because
absolutely.
When the shipments come in, one of the Keys is back there saying, "Well, these cucumbers suck. You're sending them back. You get a better produce." So, anyways, you're gonna open another farmer's market. That's 2.
Yeah, well, you have the city farmers market.
Now the county wants one,
and the county, and they're gonna work together.
And we never even thought about.
We'll see about that.
We never thought about Rick
Keys
Keys and them guys. The heck with them.
Well, and the cool thing about Keys, I've noticed when I worked at Texas Roadhouse, we would use I don't know if they're a state or nationwide distributor for our produce, but we would take a lot. We'd actually get a lot from Keys, but what we couldn't get. Some off-season stuff we'd go through, and I don't remember the name.
Distributors.
But now the bigger distributor, we had to watch them closely. We would send stuff back constantly.
Yeah, they would.
Keys, very rarely.
Oh, no.
Because anything that came on that truck was ready. It was ready to serve.
I think about local businesses.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it comes to things like that.
Well,
Why should the government be cutting into a 50-plus year business, even if it took 3% of their business? Really?
They don't care.
No, I think the Keys are doing okay, but still, running a small business isn't easy.
Yeah, it's stressful.
2%,
It gets
3%,
stressful.
5%, 10%. My God.
And they are going to take a hit.
Yeah,
They
oh,
are
of
going to
course.
take a hit
And they
when
know
they
that.
open up this farmers market just across the street, just a
Block
less
away.
Yeah, just
a block
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, a
And
block
no,
away.
no one ever brought that up during county commission discussion.
Well, of course, Keys is located within the city, and our two city county commissioners who our two county commissioners who represent the city, they're not going to care about.
they don't drive over to the north side.
Well, and that's private sector business, and no, whatever the government can do,
I want to
they
know
will be
before-
a yay vote,
I
and
might
it's
be in the weeds
unfortunate.
here. What's your feeling on the South Side grocery store thing? Personally, I don't like either version, but the first version was proposed was a co-op, and I'm like, well, that's socialism.
Mhm.
If the Kennedys, the Kroger Corporation, or Aldi's thought that a grocery store would be profitable on Prospect or anywhere near there, they would put one there. They don't care the demographics of the community.
No.
They just look at what would be profitable.
And there used to be a supermarket right there on Prospect.
You had Blacks. You had one there.
IGA.
At
Another
the corner,
IGA.
at
Hell,
the plaza there.
Frank's used to be a grocery store.
Well,
Frank's on
I mean,
First.
yeah, way back.
But over on Prospect, before they started, deciding that the city wanted to become involved with owning a supermarket. Yeah.
So
That's their job.
So they're at first they bought property on Prospect behind the Dollar General, and
decided that wasn't going to.
Well, and there was going to be a co-op grocery store, which really just I couldn't handle it. And then they go down Cooper. Out of Ward 1 and into the next ward, which bothers some because does that address the food desert problem they have on the south side? I think it does. And I don't like the way the government has to set this up to bring in a private retailer. I wish they hadn't, but I prefer that scenario than a co-op grocery store in Prospect.
Well, yeah. So you're going to have, if it does come to fruition on Cooper Street here, you'll have they have their plot of land that Consumers owns half of it right now.
Right.
So the city will purchase the Consumers part of the land, and then now the city has the full.
Sell it to them for $1. But
I doubt it. I'm sure Consumers will get what they.
Oh yeah. But so
after all, it
doesn't
is
the city on the hook here, or their proposal is to build it and they will come type of a thing?
Right. Yeah.
And then, but with that, we built this facility, parking, curbs, the whole 9 yards. Do you expect that if a retailer went in there, grocery store retailer went in there, they would pay that investment back?
Not exactly sure how.
It's just a freebie,
Not exactly sure how this is going to come to fruition.
No, I think that's a good spot for a grocery store. To tell you the truth.
Where
you're
is
going to
it
hit
exactly at Cooper?
Oh, right behind us here at the Commonwealth. So if you come out Franklin, turn right behind Southridge Park is a vacant lot
across the street.
Oh yeah.
No, across the street from Southridge.
It'd be right behind Southridge.
No,
it's not on the Jackson Glass side of Cooper.
Yes.
No, I thought it was on the west side of Cooper.
No.
I'll have to take a better look at that then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. No,
either way, I do see it being a more successful grocery store than one than Prospect and MLK. You would be able to serve the south side. People that work downtown heading home to Napoleon Township, you'd hit that grocery store. It does make more sense to have a grocery store in that area.
But Russ, if it did make that much sense,
they would build it themselves.
Don't you think a private entity such as a Polly's or a Kroger?
So you have to give a multi-million-dollar incentive just to lure them in.
Well,
isn't that going to hit Polly's on in Vandercook pretty heavy? Another
a lot of
Jackson
Southside
business.
A lot of Southside residents shop Polly's in Vandercook. It's just a shop.
And also on Spring Arbor Road.
They sure do.
And not to mention Kroger or Myers.
And hell, if it's right here, then
Walmart.
you're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Aldi's and Meyer.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole food desert thing you partially get, but you're like, I don't know.
They're still going to
Jackson. You can get to a grocery.
They got Dollar General,
and right now it's all about appeasing the south side with this supermarket, and still the those who live on the south side are still. How are they got to have a mode of transportation still to get to this this
If you live
proposed
on Union,
supermarket.
that's a hike.
If you lived on at Morel and Greenwood,
Yeah,
it's still a long ways
that's-
to that supermarket.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I said
Right,
Union, but
right.
right there at Morel Greenwood,
Yeah.
it's a
Now,
hike.
those at Southridge Apartments, sure, they could walk across this.
If
Well,
it goes to Cooper,
yeah, be careful walking across that street.
no, that's
Yeah,
not a
well.
good
Maybe
one.
they'll put up a
They'll probably
ramp.
make it a food diet.
It's
Hey,
probably
I
no
was
more
talking
dangerous than
to-
living in Southridge.
Kevin, I was talking to a local investor.
Uh-huh.
You used to work for him.
Yeah.
And he's a little concerned about his Italian pizzeria that he's putting in at the former Potter's Pub.
Mhm.
And with the road diet coming through,
Uh-huh.
parking.
Oh yeah. Well,
He's
parking's already
afraid
tough
they're
there.
going to eliminate
Parking on
street
Michigan Ave.
parking. And if you take those businesses, right, 6 spots, the Conies have some parking, a little
Yeah.
bit more. There's a row of businesses there that depend on off-street parking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's worried that the road diet is going to eliminate that off-street parking.
It's very possible.
There's-
Well, let's just take those
you
three
go across the
businesses.
street from Denton's, the office supply place.
Yeah, there's a lot of
the
businesses.
Superior, people park there and go into the businesses, but
Right.
I could see it eliminating because you're reducing it down to 2 lanes, a turn lane, and probably a bike path.
I'm sure there'll be a bike
So
path.
Rick's onto something. He's worried about.
And he's a smart guy. He knows how that stuff works.
I wish you wouldn't have told me that.
Yeah.
So you have, of course, Virginia Coney Island that they park behind or on
They
the
do.
side street
Uh-huh.
or in front.
Yeah.
Then you have
Well, I pick up Coney's there. I usually pull right up front.
CC's, of course,
CC's?
that parks in back or in front.
You got a vacuum.
Vacuum,
store.
same, and Virginia, the same.
Go across the street. You got Denton's and
Mhm.
Superior's got
Yeah.
limited parking.
I don't think they have. I don't know any parking over at Superior
Uh,
really. There's that, and then there's Henry Ford, but they have parking there. Like, can you
Yeah,
go
we
to-
don't care.
American One?
They do. American One's got parking. American One's kind of limited in parking.
Limited parking. Well, they have parking in the rear now
Yeah.
too.
So the idea of this new East Michigan Avenue from the city limits to the train tracks, to, the Jackson
Blackman
Coney Island,
Township.
No,
you know.
no,
right,
we're-
right, right.
heading west.
Yeah.
From the city limits, Gorham,
Mm-hmm.
heading west, Andy's Pizza there,
Yeah.
heading west on Michigan Ave. So
Towards downtown?
if this road diet will narrow the street from four
Lane
lanes,
and a turn to 2 lanes and a turn.
2
Wow.
lanes and a turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
the parking's
The
probably gonna
proposal was
I don't know
to
how
do
to do it.
that.
Because you're going to have a bike path,
go. Yeah.
which are usually 12 feet. 12 to
I think so.
15
That's what's
feet.
on Parnell, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The proposal at first from the state, this is a state project, would be from the train station
Mhm.
downtown east all the way to, I think, 127. Blackman Township, which has a piece of that, and Leone has a piece of that, but
Right.
especially Blackman, public safety, raised a stink. We can't turn our fire trucks down here. They made enough stink where the state said, guess what? Then we'll only do city line, Blackman and City. We'll stop there and we'll leave Blackman east to 127, front of Meyer. We'll leave it alone. Okay, cool. You got what you want. Then I got thinking, what comes with a road diet? Paved streets. So be careful what you ask for,
Right.
Blackman Township, Leone Township,
Does someone have a piece of
because
that at
now
all?
they're not going to
No.
give them a road diet and outside the city. They'll just leave them streets alone. And if as soon as you leave city limits, right around the Avenue Billiards, the Dollar
Yeah.
General, that's where the line is, Horton Street.
Horton Street, yes.
That stretch east to about the U-Haul or so is terrible roads.
Yeah.
So
past
if
the
you're not
U-Haul,
going to allow the
you've got to
food-
get past that bit before you're in
Right.
anything decent on that right
Denton's
lane.
a good one. Then you get near Meyer, it's better.
Yeah, I travel it every day.
So if we kiboshed the road diet, we probably kiboshed everything. Where really, if we went with the road diet, they'd have to resurface that, and we'd have resurfaced part of East Michigan. I understand. I'm not a fan of a road diet.
6 of one, half dozen of another.
But
You know.
be careful what you ask for.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
You know, I shop Polly's on Purnell, and they just did that on Purnell in front of Polly's, and I think it's goofy. They
It's
put a
weird.
curb between
Yeah.
the road
I saw
and
them
the
working on
bike
that.
lane, I guess for safety, and that's part of the trail. Whatever, it's no big
And
deal.
it's part of state and federal funding.
It
that they
is.
receive.
It is.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't been out that way in a while. But with
Take a trip. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is weird.
and the so the same thing will take place on East Michigan Avenue from the train tracks.
So what
to-
happens when you hit Blackman Township line? The bike path just ends.
Well,
It just ends. I don't know.
all right.
I haven't addressed it with my board or the Blackman
It'll be
Public
coming up.
Safety. The director said we were able to get them to stop the road diet Blackman Township eastward. And I thought, okay, cool. Then I got to think about it. Maybe that wasn't the greatest of ideas.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Right, and I'm not sure where they are with the stages. What stage they are with. I know they had some meetings for the general public to attend. And,
Yeah, I missed them.
I did also, and so I'm
I
not
didn't
sure
know about
exactly where they're at
Yeah.
with
It's happening.
what phase it will happen.
It'll happen.
Yeah, and that'll have to involve some federal and state funding.
At least the roads will be resurfaced.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say to that.
Right. But
Yeah.
then again, like you said, those are the two Coney Islands and
No, where are you going to park?
CC's and the vacuum shop
Yeah.
and
Yep.
the new restaurant.
Across the street over to Denton's and those businesses right in there. They're all limited in parking. You count on street parking. Of course, you have a side street you can park.
Well, I think it's going to also. I mean, is it going to raise a fuss with the Amtrak? They already kind of fuss about people parking over there
They
anyway.
don't want you parking there.
Oh, they do. Everyone
I told Rick,
Right.
I says,
for years it's been that
the
way.
Potter family got away with parking in the Amtrak for decades.
Yeah, they told me that they bought it.
And they, yeah. And
That's why I was
you know how
barred from
Rick
there. I
is.
made
He
fun of
goes-
their tiny
you know how
parking
Rick
lot.
is. He doesn't want to rely on Amtrak
No.
or somebody. He takes care of his own stuff.
Yeah.
But I said, Rick, I never thought of that, losing parking along Michigan.
Well, and I don't know if this is a prelude to anything, but the vacuum shop just re-blacktopped their area.
What, real quick, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, John.
Oh no, we're fine.
I told
We're fine.
Rick, yeah,
take
Rick
your time.
years ago, John Potter, who owned Potter's Pub, is a topless bar, but he's the only one making money in that little group of businesses there. Unfortunately, he didn't pay his income tax and spent a little time in prison.
Well,
But,
you know what happens.
So there was a time he had a lot of money, and he went to all the businesses there from Coney to Coney and everything in between and said, listen, guys, let's tear the fences down. I'll pay to resurface it, and I will maintain it. And who cares where people park?
Right.
Whether you're getting a Coney or you're coming in to see topless women or getting your vacuum cleaned or whatever it is, with just one big parking lot. And they turned him down.
Well, I mean, probably rightfully so. If you fast forward to, I don't know, a couple of years ago when people were getting shot in the
I
parking
know,
lot.
but back then it wasn't like that.
I know, but
They turned it down. I think that was short-sighted.
yeah,
Business owners. They
The
should've-
city wanted Potters out of there.
yeah.
and they made that happen.
Well, what's
They
funny
made it
too is the investor you speak of. He, when I was speaking to him about before he bought it, he's like, if I would have owned that for as long as they did, I would have owned corner to corner by
He
now.
would've.
I
He
would have
would've
knocked
bought
all the
Coney to
walls
Coney.
down.
He would have owned the whole block.
But anyway.
He'd have been selling Coney's on two ends of it, and he would have been fixing back.
Oh
in
no,
the
no.
middle.
He told me that you would be able to see his club from the highway.
Well,
I mean, that's a quote.
All right.
no, it'll be interesting to see what transpires down East Michigan Avenue
Yeah.
from the train tracks to Horton.
Yep.
City limits.
City
and
limits.
We
the
keep
bike path will end at city limits. I
Just
guess.
fall right off the earth.
right.
You have to take the
Right.
sidewalk like we've been doing for decades.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
it's always worked, but this is part of, like you said, the road diet and keep us all healthy.
Right.
Ride our bikes.
Ride our bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Electric bikes. They all have
Electric
electric.
bikes.
Everyone has electric bikes now.
In the city.
I-
City, I think they just passed an ordinance. So I think they're going to be letting the company have those scooters. down
Oh,
there.
I see. I don't think they're the city so much. I mean, they may be worried about electric bikes, but I mean, I see them driving on the sidewalk every day. I literally see the little dirt bike things riding on the sidewalk through the city. So I mean,
Well,
no one's enforcing it.
listen, you ever watch big cities before there's a major incident? You usually have young men on mini bikes that stir the crowd up.
Yeah.
I've been in Jackson driving through city more than once and seen 2 or 3 teenage kids on those mini bikes just zipping down the roads. And I watched Jackson PD just drive
Yep,
by.
that's exactly what
When
I
I
see.
was a kid living in Napoleon Township in a subdivision, if I took my mini bike down the street, one of the neighbors would have complained and they would have nipped that right in the bud. And that's what the city needs to do before it grows.
I was 17, had a moped, and I was driving. This is before Blackman Public Safety took over for Leone. but I was driving on Flansburgh, like to go into Catalpa, and a cop stopped me and asked me questions.
Yeah, they just let it happen here in the city.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, that's 25 years ago, though.
Remember those old mini bikes? Those, that we put
Made 'em
together
from
in the garage.
scratch.
Of course, not me. I'm not mechanically
wouldn't
inclined enough, but we did have a neighbor who did
Oh,
build
yeah.
the mini bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we had fun on his.
Or take
mini
your
bike.
bicycles, and the same kid that did that, remember, you little younger, took your bicycles and made choppers out of them and stuff. I wasn't that kid.
There's
He
one.
was.
I didn't have a chopper.
There's one of those driving or that rides around downtown Jackson now, but the handlebars are like way up
Yeah.
too. It looks the most uncomfortable bike ride I've ever seen in my life.
Well, sure, yeah. Well, see the
No, it's like literally probably 3 feet above him. He's straight arm trying to steer this thing.
Right.
It's insane.
John, I'm still trying to sell tickets to our Jackson GOP Lincoln Day dinner ticket.
And I
And
see the date is the date of
Michigan State.
which is
and
now
they-
a 3:30 game.
Have they announced it? Because as of
3:30.
2 days
Oh,
ago, they hadn't.
That's good news.
And
So
you're-
that might be better than too late. We were
Better than
hoping for
6 or
noon
8.
game.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, and I
They'll wrap
see you
up by
have
7.
quite a good lineup of speakers, right?
So, and yes, it's been a while. I will probably say we will have met our ticket sales goal. It doesn't matter if Michigan State game's on or not. We've hit our goal. I'm just after the scraps right now, and
I'll be the scraps.
but there are 4 large screen TVs in the City View room, and then 2 of them will have the game on. But I realize that people don't get together; they get together as friends and watch them or go to the game or whatever. I get it, but we're going to try to accommodate.
Well, sure. And you have a lineup of good speakers.
Eric Nesbitt our speakers are candidates for governor. We have Eric Nesbitt, Tom Leonard, Ralph Rebrandt, who I've had dinner with twice the last week. He ain't a bad guy. He's not my guy, but Ralph's okay. Carla Wagner, the creator of Axe My Tax. And then
Good
Anthony
friend Carla
Hudson.
Wagner.
The only ones we couldn't get is John James. John James we can't find him. I know he's the front runner, but us GOPs had no contact with him. And then Mike Cox had a previous engagement.
Oh, that's too
somewhere.
bad.
But then we'll have all the SOS candidates here, not as speakers, but they'll be here. 2 of the 3 AG candidates will be here. And then just real quick, we found a candidate to run for Michigan House seat 47. His name is Justin Griffiths. He was on the show, Stick to the Plan podcast. And people don't realize since redistricting that District 47 is most of Summit Township, all of Napoleon Township, all of Columbia Township, all of Norval Township, and half of Grass Lake
And
is
who?
represented by
Okay, go
Carrie
ahead.
Regas.
Yeah.
And she's
Wackadoo.
not only a Democrat, wackadoo. Top
Wackadoo.
5.
And she right now covers
Those
those
townships
A lot of South
into
Jackson.
Washtenaw.
into
And
Washington.
it was gerrymandered, yes, southern Washtenaw, which is farmland, but it gerrymandered up to compass east side and south side of Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a
That's-
+2 Dem seat. To me, you tell me +2 Dem, that means we can win it.
Oh, yeah. It's very winnable.
You have to get people out to vote.
Right.
Yeah, and we need, you just have to go to the current representative's TikTok or Instagram and watch a couple of her videos. And
Yeah, she does not represent
No.
us at all.
She,
Not
she
our
represents
values. She doesn't
that
represent our
part of Ann Arbor that she needs to
That's
get
where
the
she
votes.
hangs out.
Yep.
Get it.
What do you
So
know?
But
Celine.
Justin's a great guy. Kevin met him.
Yeah, he's cool. I like Justin.
39, attorney, just sharp. And so we might have found a good guy. He'll be here. That's why I brought him up.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good one.
And also on the other side of Jackson County, we have Kathy.
Kathy,
And-
encompasses all the city of Jackson and a big several townships in Jackson County, Leone being one of them. Do you know Kathy is a +2 Dem seat too, but she's beat them twice.
Right. Yeah.
And I will say this about Kathy. She is not the same type of Republican I am,
But she wins.
but she wins.
She
And
knows the district.
let me tell you, she goes everywhere.
Nailed it.
And I do know that there are Democrat voting people or independents in the city that say, I really like her, and jump over. That's how she wins that. So
And what about Sarah Leitner's
she's
district?
safe. She's safe. She's in a hard red district. Sarah, don't sweat it.
And Sarah has at least 2 more terms left.
I
with the
think
new-
so. I forget how
yeah.
those terms work.
And
now. They
Kathy
change.
also, if she chooses.
Yeah, we will have them for.
And we had an announcement by Mayor
Oh,
Mahoney
that was what we should have talked about.
that he's not going to run.
Nope.
Hard.
He's had
I'm
serious
heartbroken.
He had serious consideration over the last couple of months. He announced that running for state rep, but between his family and his Lord and Savior, he's decided he's not running for anything. But he did say that he thinks the candidate that should run was in the room the other night.
Uh-oh.
And John, I got thinking, who's got the juice enough in city chambers the other day to do that? And it's either Connor Wood, John Willis, but I heard rumors that Will Forgrave is interested. But I don't think Will's got the juice.
Will doesn't have the juice. No. and I heard that also. And bring it on, Will.
Well, I texted Kathy real quick,
Yeah.
and she goes, Russ, I don't care who it is. They're all the same.
Yeah.
I like her attitude.
Yeah. They're all the same. And don't expect too much juice out of Will Forgrave.
I don't see it either. Connor's already expressed interest to running for mayor. So I think maybe that's going to happen.
So you have Connor who's expressed
But John Willis, I thought-
interest and
John-
also excuse me. Boy, lost
Who
my
else
train
is
of
in
thought there.
Freddie wants
Freddie, thank
Freddie
you.
for mayor. Right.
Freddie for mayor.
Maybe I should run for mayor.
John Willis would be
John Wilson would have to give up a nice salary.
Well, I don't have a salary to give up. Maybe I should run.
the city mayor. He has 400 some days before his term ends. And it's easy to get under his skin. He is not going to hold back. It's going to be entertaining.
He said he's not going to hold back.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be entertaining to watch the mayor.
not going to go to jail or hell for anyone.
Already was entertaining enough, so it's even going to be
he's
better.
He's
Pop-
going to step it up a notch.
Pop your popcorn.
Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy.
I don't know if I'll go to many city council meetings, but I'll join him on YouTube.
Speaking of pop your popcorn, just because I was reading the post, he mentioned get your popcorn ready. The Sand and Stone Foundation, good friend of the show, John Shannon. He was on a couple episodes ago, 3
Mhm.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
He's finally got his foundation rolling, the Sand and Stone Foundation. I'll share a link in the
yes.
in the chat for everyone, and I'll also put it in the down in the description. So I don't know if you know more or have more to talk about it.
No, I really don't. Other than John is one of our heroes.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He's definitely a good one, and I know he's going to plan on coming on his show, either this show or maybe his.
Yeah, he had reached out to me. I haven't gotten back to him. I've been busy, but
Very
it looks
cool.
like it's for at-risk youth
Mhm.
and children aging out of foster homes.
Mhm.
So
Very cool.
it's going to be a good foundation, and I believe in him. He's
John Shannon is solid.
yeah. If he says
solid
he's doing it,
individual.
it's going to be good.
Yes, yes. So we'll make sure we get him on one of the shows, and if not, he can have his own time.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
He's more than welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot the words over there. Pops has been wanting me to set that up for his show for months now.
He
We just haven't
He
gotten there.
cannot have Wilson.
No,
He cannot have
Wilson. He can't have the Wilson.
No, I'll give him his own full board eventually.
John,
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me on your show.
Well,
I like Hits Home Jackson with John
I
Wilson.
appreciate being on your show today, Russ.
Ah,
yeah,
no.
I told Russ at the
I'm over
start.
here in the co-pilot
I
seat.
started. We talked before we came on air, and I said, Russ, it's all yours.
There's
today."
way more to talk about.
Oh,
There
sure.
always
There
is.
always is.
Yeah.
There always is. I watched
Yeah.
you with Will. I watched you with John, and same with me. We're up on a lot of issues going on in the county, in the city, in our townships. and
There's no shortage of
there's
issues.
never shortage of
Never.
conversation.
Never.
No, there sure isn't. All right. Well, I thank you, Russ, and it's been an honor.
We'll do it again.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
chairman of the Jackson County Board. Oh, excuse me, not Jackson County Board of Commission. Jackson County
not yet.
Republican
Maybe
Party.
one day, huh?
That's right. And Leone Township trustee does good work for the taxpayers,
I
the
try my
hardworking,
best.
responsible,
It's not
tax-paying citizens of Leone Township, and for the most
It's
part,
not an
all of
easy gig,
Jackson
John.
County.
It's not. an
I'm
easy
sure it's
gig.
not.
No.
Yep. And going back to the Lincoln Day dinner, guys, if you need more information on that, jxngop.org. You can find all that information.
Yeah, we have an after party.
That's
Yeah.
what I was just going to ask. You have the after party.
So
that's yeah.
I'm cool. I mean, I want to sell more main tickets. But if the game's in the way or if it's too expensive, we have an after party. It starts at $9, $35. Huge dance floor, DJ, pizza, cash bar. Listen. Jackson knows how to party.
Mhm.
Jackson GOP has proven we know how to party. So that'll be a good time if you just want to come to the after party.
Okay, so if you purchase a ticket for Lincoln Day, does that include the after party?
Yep.
Okay.
It includes the after party, or you can just buy separately to the after party. So,
Mhm.
but
And always good eats.
the Commonwealth Commerce Center caterer does real well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
All right.
I want to apologize to everyone. For some reason, the wires got crossed with YouTube. It was live on YouTube. I posted a link on the His Home Jackson Facebook page. For some reason, it went live for the Stick to the Plan page. I don't know why.
so a problem on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. So it is live. It's up there. Once we're done, I'll make sure that it's also transferred over to the His Home Jackson. But it is live on the Stick to the Plan podcast page.
There goes Kevin talking Chinese to me again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just know that it will be
Whatever
on YouTube within an hour.
Yep.
So
All right. I appreciate it, Kevin.
yep,
And I
you guys.
appreciate it, Russ, very
Thank you, John.
much. Thank
Thank you,
you.
John.
And keep up all your good work out there in Leone Township. And
Doing what we
remember,
do.
whatever happens in Leone Township happens throughout Jackson County.
Hell yeah.
What
And
happens in
especially the
Leone
city.
stays in Leone.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
Well, maybe that's the reason I can't ever get elected.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, blame Leone. That's what I would do.
You need to move.
Oh, no. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks again, Russ.
Thank you,
And
guys.
as always, Kevin,
It's
did
hot
we
in here.
miss anything?
I don't think so. Guys, make sure you like the stream and follow the channel if you're not already. We're going to try make a big push on the Facebook. We're going to try to go live on Facebook next time.
All right.
So that's all I've got. So
I have a trick to make that happen. I'll
yeah.
call someone.
yeah. So thank you, John. And we'll see you guys next time, whenever that may be. A couple weeks, probably.
Let's hope another couple weeks.
All
I
right.
bet we have a lot to talk about.
All right, everybody, have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you, John.
All right.
You've been listening to a Grandma's Boy Media Production.
Talking all things Jackson, bringing you the news that you need to know. The Hands on Jackson podcast, and we're coming at you live in your city. Jackson, this is your time. Get your news from your neighbor, the people who care. Unbiased and uncensored with pride. Broadcasting to you live on the air. Trusted source to tell you what's happening from the city to the county line. All the news that matters. Make your own opinion about the news that affects